Hi guys. You're buying a town, just run in, destroy it. I think it's great. It's super exciting, right? To get the balls. They tried to ban him from the streets and weird, but it worked. Hi guys, Alex here. Today is shit. It is loud here. Hi guys, this is Alex and this is what tickled my pickle this week. Today we'll start with something that really tickled my pickle when I read about it. In Orlando International Airport, somebody stole 4 cars with Hellcat engines. For those of you who don't know, it's 6.2 liter, 707 horsepower V8 engine. And that really upsets me because it is 707 proud American ponies that were stolen, and these cars are not cheap, you know, they go for close to about 100 grand, and somebody got really upset. And the problem with that is international airport, for which you pay a lot of money to park your car in a secure car park, had no cameras at all. So somebody just walked in, smashed the window of 4 cars, expensive cars, got in there, started them and left with 0 evidence. There is no pictures, no images, no sounds, no witnesses, nothing. Literally, it's like the cars were not even parked there at all. But this is not what really pissed me off when I read about this news. I then followed the link about 74 Hellcat engine cars that were stolen on June the 1st when this whole rioting bullshit started. And what really annoyed me about this news is that some people, 74 of them at least, walked into a dealership, destroyed it, took the car keys, and then stole 74 cars. That is just so upsetting when people that live, you know, in one of the greatest countries out there, pretty much. America. Because everyone wants to live there, you know, it's not the worst country for sure. Like, I'm from Russia, I know what I'm talking about. And you have this much opportunity and shit, and then you just go there and you just literally ruin what this whole country was built about, you know? Is somebody started a business, a Dodge dealership, they were selling cars, making some money, you know, trying to feed their family and stuff, employing people, you know, paying taxes, and then some dickheads that don't even probably have a job just run in, destroy it, and steal cars and make dealership lose money, which is super annoying. I know we're all not very excited about, you know, car salesmen because they are a bit of dicks. But the point is that is just not right, and that's what really upset me. 59 of those cars were found since then, but not in a very good state. You know, some of them destroyed, some of them were taken apart, and so on and so forth. And I'm just really disappointed by the injustice where, you know, honest people that work hard to earn money are losing money because of idiots that just don't want to do anything, are lazy watching Netflix 24/7, and then complain that life isn't really changing around them. So a bit of disappointing news, but I promise we have some exciting news coming up next. Yeah. Next news is about a town that you can literally buy in Tennessee right now for $725,000. The caveat there is that the owners really don't want to change anything in the town, and the town, I kid you not, is a bloody town that you can buy. The town comes with 4 buildings which were built in around 1900, so you can imagine that they are old and they literally need to be either restored or taken down and, you know, rebuilt. But the owners want to make sure that whoever buys the buildings and the town consequently wouldn't really take any of them down, which they claim is part of heritage and this and that, and I understand that. But if you're looking at it from somebody from a perspective of a buyer, you're buying a town for 725k, you probably want to put some new buildings in there and probably tear down the old ones which look like shit. But we'll see how it turns out. Maybe somebody will buy it and restore them, maybe not. But for you to understand the scale of the situation, just down the road in a little town next to it, you can buy a house for $800,000. And here you buy a whole town with 4 buildings for just 725k. If you're interested, the town is called Water Valley in Tennessee. And yeah, you can look it up and buy it if you want to. To the next news. Next up is a bizarre news about housing problems in Canada. So a lady and her husband with a little baby, they were living on the coast in Canada somewhere, right? And every time they go past another coast, they see a kind of greenish house, and the lady was like, oh, that's a beautiful house, I really want it, right? She really liked the house, 2-story building, looks very nice, very cute, and she's like, I really want one, but she can't really just, you know, take it and put it on her land. Or can she? Literally some time goes by, and I think several months or a year went by since she noticed the building, and the owner of the building wanted to take it down and build something new on the land. When she heard about the news, she came to the guy and she was like, can I have the building if you're gonna take it down anyway? And the guy's like, sure, if it doesn't cost me anything. And what she did is she picked the building, right, dug it out, put it on barrels and like some other construction, put it on water and pushed it with a boat over to her coast. I kid you not. Can you imagine? She just wanted the house so much. She's like, yeah, I'm just gonna literally swim it across to my land, which is hilarious. Which is more interesting is that this was actually a common way to move buildings back in the day in like 1900s, because the roads were not really developed, and it was the easiest way to just sometimes move a house across on the river. And it turns out that houses don't fall apart, and it's actually a normal practice. You can literally just dig out the house, pick it up, put it on a trailer, and move it. And it costs like 100 grand. I kid you not, I did some research. The cost of moving a house by the road, you know, it costs about 100 and 200K. But the roadway for this Canadian lady was complicated because of the power lines and roads and other stuff. So she just moved it across the river, which is weird, but it worked. At some point she thought that they're gonna lose the house because somewhere halfway through, and it is a half-a-mile journey across the water, and the house started to sink. So the back of the house literally sank by almost the second floor, which is insane. But a lot of people were watching what's going on, and they got excited and they wanted to help because it's Canada, you know, and everyone came on the little boats and started pushing the house, and all together with this little town, they pushed the building across to its new land, and it's just drying out there, enjoying the sun in Canada, right? And at some point they start renovations, and yeah, that's it. That's how you do it. The moral of the story is, if you really want something, you just have to look for the opportunity for you to take it, and once it's there, do not give up. And even if the idea sounds crazy, like moving a house on the river half a mile to take it to your land, just do it, because, you know, YOLO, right? But yeah, inspirational story indeed. To the next news. Next news is about the abandoned like button underneath this video. Be so kind and poke your once with your pickle, even if it's metaphorical, because who else but you can support me in doing what I love. Thank you very much if you did, and to the next news. Next exciting news is about male contraception. We've probably all been in the same situation where when we talk about contraception with our girlfriends or our partners, there is usually very limited, pretty much no contraception for males. And I think that's not quite right, because women have to take pills that alter their emotional being pretty much, and I've seen that shit. Nobody wants that, right? Or inject stuff into their body, or put things up there like a ring, and and yeah, it's pretty weird, and it's pretty tough to be a woman from that perspective, because there's literally no alternative. If you're a guy, there isn't really a way to contracept except a condom, right? But sometimes you don't want to use it, or you have an allergy, or whatever it is, right? And it would be good to have a different method of contraception for males. And so was the case for a lady, Rebecca, I forgot her last name, and she had the same situation where she was taking pills and diagnosed with cancer, which was linked to the contraception pills. And she thought, there is no really option, right? So she found a study in 2012 that was done by a Parsimus Group Foundation, which looked at ultrasound as the way of contraception for animals. And the way it really works, you get the balls and you put ultrasound through them for like 10 minutes, and they become sterile, right, for a period of time, like a month. And she thought it's a great idea, right? And she developed a company called Cosa, which does exactly that. It's a little well-designed bath which you fill up with water. You dip your balls in there for like 5 minutes, and you basically become non-fertile for like 2 weeks or for a month. The idea is amazing and I love it. And my girlfriend, like when she heard about it, she's like, oh, that's awesome, do you want to do it? And I was like, probably not. The way I would go about it, right? I would probably go to sperm bank, save the guys for just in case, and then use the device. Because when Parsimonios Foundation did their research in 2012, what they found is inconclusive results when it comes to actual human beings, to males in particular. Because some males will become non-fertile forever, right? Some of them will become non-fertile for a period of time, and if they stop the treatment, the fertility of their sperm doesn't go back up to the same level it was beforehand, but it does sound quite a bit risky. And the conclusion that the foundation came to, it's better to use it for people that really don't want to have kids afterwards, because it's not clear what after effects will be there. So at least there is a research and kind of business development or entrepreneurship going into this area as well, which is super exciting. And hopefully some new developments will come through and we will be able to have some male contraception, because I think it's about time. Instead of forcing basically women to do it for us, I think it's fair to split the bill, so to speak, and chip in from our side on the safety of sex side of things. To the next news. The last but not the least is the exciting news about the Wizards of New Zealand. So basically, back in the 80s, there was a guy who was performing on the street all sorts of like wizardry magic stuff, which is, fun. And the New Zealand government of the little region that he was in, which was this one, I don't remember it, they tried to ban him from the streets. Why? I don't know. The guy's just, having fun and people like it, so what the f is the problem? Anyway, so the city wanted to ban him, but the people rose up and they said, no, we like this guy, so let's keep him. And the government was like, okay, fine. Then the Prime Minister of New Zealand at the time decided to employ the guy, and he went to him and said, look, right, that happened in 1989. And he came to the guy, and he wrote to the guy, he didn't come to him. He's like, I'm not gonna go to this guy, he's a f***ing wizard. Scary stuff. Anyway, so he wrote to the guy with an all, obviously, to say that, look, if you want to be employed by us, that'll be cool, because we need somebody who can help us in the wizardy kind of way and protect us from the dark spells and all this
You're a wizard, Harry.
fun stuff, which I think is a great humor from the guy. And the wizard obviously agreed, and he was on the payroll for the past 23 years from 1989 at $11,000 per year he was receiving from the government for being a wizard, official wizard of New Zealand, which is, I think it's great. It's super exciting. The news came about that his contract is being terminated this year, unfortunately, because, and I quote, the government said that wizards weren't that cool anymore and weren't part of the vibrant, diverse, modern city that the New Zealand city was trying to be at the time. So his contract was terminated, and he said no biggie, because over the 23 years he also became quite famous and probably will continue to make money from visitors, from tourists and all that side of things without the support of the government. So hopefully everything will be fine with this guy. But it's super exciting story that, you're doing what you love, like being a street artist or street performer, which is super difficult to do. You being recognized by the people who support you when you were trying to be banned by the government. And not only that, the government recognizes your impact on the society and they actually employ you to entertain people, which is absolutely amazing. So that was great job on the part of the New Zealand department. Great job for the wizard who believed in doing what he loved and made a career out of it. Even being a fucking wizard on the streets of New Zealand. So you have no f***ing excuse not to pursue your dreams, that's for f***ing sure. This has been it. Thank you very much for watching this episode of What Tickled My Pickle. If I tickled your pickle, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Let me know in some way, engage with me. That will be great, because who else can support me but you in doing what I love. Thank you very much. Be like the New Zealand government and support this wizard of YouTube. I don't know. Thank you very much if you did. And compliment of the day. You know what tickles my pickle most of all? It's you. Till next time. We triple up, they on the double up, triple dub. Came from the basement, we only going up. They loving us. Up in the booth, I'm getting dizzy, but they the cup is up. Toast to my people that's on the come up, and you live with us.